Welcome, everyone, to episode 14 of Community Chronicles, a DDPY community video interview series. Super pumped this week. It's been a while since you put one of these out, and this guy has been on my short list for a long time. A staunch West Coast member, one of the few of the DDPY community, a regular in the Positively Unstoppable Challenge and Project Unlock. One of my favorites and yours. Everybody, please welcome Murphy. Welcome, Murphy.
Aw, that's so sweet. Hello, everybody.
Honestly, man, I've been following your journey pretty much as I came to the group at the beginning of the year, and it's one of those that's been just fun to keep up with. And I've watched you do some really cool stuff, particularly over the last.
Been good.
Yeah, the last 10 months or so. It's been like a whole new you. It's been really cool to sit back and get to watch that. So let's start where we always start, at the beginning. Give us the short synopsis of what brought you to DDPY and what's changed since you started the program.
Okay. Well, I'll go deeper into my origin stories in a few months on DDPY radio, but most of my progress has been learning what is wrong in my head. And my problem is always going to be me versus me. I have a voice in my head that just thinks I should just go away for the most part. Doesn't like bothering people and says I should just hide. For many years, I let that voice dictate my life, basically. And in 2014, I was in the worst possible spot that I could have been in. When you follow a bad story, you're going to go to bad places. Early 2015, I met my wife for the first time, and for the first time, I made some decisions against that voice, ignoring the voice, and making decisions based on what I wanted instead of what I thought I was allowed to have, those type of things. Fast forward to 2019, and I was finally starting to believe that I could have the life that I want, because my wife likes to ask the question why a lot. So I spent a lot of time thinking about the answers to those questions, and it helped me figure out that I have a severe case of imposter syndrome. And that is going to be my battle all my life, but I really like who I become when I win that fight. So 2019, I was, like I said, starting to believe I could have what I wanted, but what I wanted had a firm weight limit of 250. And I was 456 pounds because I just let myself go. I got fat because I never thought about food. I didn't like cooking. I didn't like preparing. So every meal was fast food, and it was usually too much of it. And I put no thought into that aspect of life. So in 2019, I decided that if I wanted to do all these things I wanted to do, I had to drop some weight, but even walking hurt. So I had to find something that I could do with very low impact. And as we all know, DDPY is the lowest of impact with the greatest of results. So I actually bought the DVDs back in 2011 and did absolutely nothing with them. I think I watched Energy, and and that's it. So I started with beginner because I was still fairly mobile and thought, oh, this will be easy. Nope, not easy. But really, I just did the program. You do what you're told when you're told, and you'll see results. And so early days, that was mostly what I did, is follow the instructions.
Cool. One of the things I caught there that you said that really stuck out to me is that, and I kind of maybe see myself how I got where I was in a similar way, being around a little over 300 pounds in my late teens, early 20s. You never thought about food.
Yep.
Meaning that you didn't put any effort into preparing or planning what it is you're going to eat.
Not at all.
When you're eating whatever's handy ain't healthy most of the time.
Not at all. So. And also when you're lower income, healthy food is expensive. So a couple cheeseburgers is a couple dollars. And so, yeah, you don't even think about it a lot of the times.
Yeah. I now you've brought me a revelation of my addiction to the Deli Express chicken and Swiss sandwich. came from just a lack of forethought into what I'm going to eat tonight. So I'm going to grab a sandwich at the gas station.
Oh, at the gas station?
Oh, hey, don't
I
hate on my gas. I'm not eating gas station hard-boiled eggs or sushi. You know,
I can't talk. I do the 7-Eleven chicken. It's
oh, it's all microwavable. It's cooked, right? We're good.
Yep.
But no, that was in all of these conversations I've had, not one person has pointed that out, that we're eating like crap because we're not thinking about what we're eating.
Yeah, not at all. So there's this is one of my privileges. This is where I feel incredibly lucky. I don't have like an emotional eating problem or a connection, an addiction to food that some people have. And the people who can succeed with those issues, I respect the hell out of. I'm fortunate. My issue is just I never thought about it. So once I started thinking about it, I could make better decisions, and the results just started happening.
That's awesome. Now I can't get over that. Wow, what a wise man. I'm still floored by that. Just think about it. Think about it, and you won't eat that crap. That's great. I want to touch a little bit. I know this is not a long form interview, but I want to touch just a bit on the imposter syndrome thing. It's something I've heard you mention in your post before too, about you maybe not, for some reason, feeling like people wouldn't want you around or that you're not worth it.
Yes.
Is that basically just what imposter syndrome is? Or you're pretending to be something that you don't truly feel when you put yourself out there?
I've heard many definitions of imposter syndrome, and different forms take, like business imposter syndrome is different than generalized and all of that. But basically, I feel like unless someone has specifically invited me to talk to them, my mere presence is bothering them, and they would prefer me to go away. And the only way I learned to counter that as a kid and as a young adult was to be the most useful person around. So as long as I was useful, they wouldn't want me to go away. But as soon as I asked for anything for myself, or if I wanted to not be useful for a day, suddenly I felt like they would tell me to disappear.
That's I hurt just hearing that, man, because I think you're totally worth it. And I love when you share your shit and when you've got stuff to say, and don't ever think that. And I think to myself, I never once consider whether or not I'm bothering anybody. I kind of come right at you regardless. And then I think about it later, like, oh, maybe that person did not enjoy my presence, but it's too late now.
I have that thought quite a bit. Mostly it comes out in new situations. When I'm pushing myself to a place where I've never been before, that's when it's the loudest. And like, you are a place you don't belong. Get the hell out. But I found in the last 2-3 years, every time I've ignored that voice, the trajectory of my life has improved. So I'm just going to keep ignoring it for as long as possible until it goes away, if it goes away.
I love hearing that, because I don't see you as being any different than anyone else in this community in terms of what you deserve and where you should be. We've all got similar goals. We're all in a new place. We're all experiencing new things.
Absolutely.
And to be able to just understand that nobody in this community is such an expert that they have any right to tell you that you don't belong or that you don't need to share.
And that's the thing.
We can all just scroll, Murphy.
No one in this community would ever say that to me. And yet the voice in my head tells me that on its own. So it's a constant battle against that small voice in my head.
That's a tough thing, but I admire you for fighting that. And this is a big step. I
winning.
That makes it all the more impressive that you agreed to sit down with me here. I mean, because when you think about it, when we're done and I post this, there's going to be at least 9 people that see this.
Oh, come on. At least 10 or 11.
Once I send it to my mom,
Mark
we might get double digits if I send it to mom and Grandma Jeanette. But yeah, that's it's awesome. And I just I'm learning more and more here, and that's my favorite thing about this damn show and this community. So as far as the community goes, I know that one of the things that was momentous for you in kind of taking your DDPY game to the next level, if correct me if I'm wrong, was the first Project Unlock, right?
Second Project
The
Unlock.
second Project Unlock.
I missed the first one. The second one was the 30-day one in January or February, I think. Time is vague these days. But yeah, that was the 30-day one, I think.
And I associate Project Unlock, when I think of it, I think of you, because in Project Unlock 3, I believe it was, that was the exploding knees Project Unlock. And every time you saw Murphy in a live workout, whether it was with Mark or with Travis or whoever, he's in the back doing exploding knees while everybody else was talking. And it was
it's a couple things. One, I had to get the knees in. I made a commitment, and two, if I'm in a group, I generally prefer to listen. That way I could just continue my work and be part of the group.
Awesome. Well, no, and it's that's the great thing, and I'm gonna miss it, frankly, about the live DDPY workouts, especially with I love the level 1 instructors in training are my favorite.
Oh yeah,
because then it's fun to be a part of that process in general. But
I'm trying real hard to match my schedule up so I can help Vance with his one or two of the times that he keeps putting his on. Just can't get the scheduling.
That's always my excuse. But one of these days, I'm gonna hop on there in my work clothes, and just hit mute on the Microsoft Teams and jump into a live workout with somebody. People like if it weren't for people like Travis and like Mark and Vance, people that have given us the opportunity to join them through these live workouts, I feel like a lot of us would never have stumbled across each other. You'd be just another name in the news feed. And so
it is very true.
Getting a chance to see this person actually move, and maybe hear them talk once in a while makes you go, oh, that's a real person. And it helps us connect as a community. So again, I'm not trying to, what the company wants to do is what the company wants to do. I just know that that's something that I'm going to miss, and I think is a really big part of the community. And I'm looking forward to seeing how DDPY corporate kind of helps us still grab some of that.
Yeah, I have no idea where they're trying to go with that, but I hope that it's more of a community driven thing, because you're right, those live workouts, especially in a pandemic, sometimes some people need that.
Yeah,
they need that person watching them to say, if no one's watching them, they don't go into the form properly or something, or they half-ass it, and having people working out with you pushes you more. And
those of us that are in more sparsely populated areas, we don't always have the option to go do it live.
Exactly.
In the community, I've come across 4 other people from my state, and the nearest instructor I know of is about 5.5 hours away. So then don't tell me go be an instructor myself. No, I'm onto that. And I'd have nobody to teach. So the live workouts are a great way for us to still get involved without having to move to a major metropolitan area.
I agree. Yep.
All right, Murph, well, I don't want to steal all of the thunder from what I'm sure you're going to have more opportunities in the future to dive deeper into your story and tell us more about you. We'd like this to be more just an introductory. This dude's worth knowing. All right, so learn a little bit about him and then take the time to get to know him better. So what do you say that we roll it into some rapid fire questions now?
Shoot.
All right. What is your favorite tabletop game?
Oh, that's hard. I would say Gloomhaven.
Give me a quick rundown of what Gloomhaven is.
It is a 4-person card-driven dungeon crawl.
Perfect. All right. Who is your favorite Rocky Horror Picture Show character?
Well, I was the Crim for 10 years. It's got to be the Criminologist.
Perfect. If you could play any role on stage, what would it be?
Oh, I think I'm Crim is my level. I don't want to be an actor.
Perfect. All right. Oh, I got to
too much work.
What has been your favorite bucket list item so far that you've been able to check off?
So far, zip lining has been just the best new thing I've ever done. But I've also done 3 different ATV jungle tours this year, and all of them have just been amazing.
Which one are you looking forward to doing next?
The whole point of my journey was skydiving, and I haven't hit that yet. So that's probably as soon as the season opens next year, I'm going to hit it.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to seeing that. What's your favorite healthy meal?
I have every day I have a big ass salad filled with chicken. But I really like just big chunks of meat and roasted vegetables.
Can't go wrong with big chunks of meat.
I share Dobbin's love for the meat sale.
What is your biggest irrational fear?
For a long time, it was being noticed or embarrassing myself in public, and being noticed in an embarrassing way. Now, irrational fear. I don't really have very many irrational fears. I don't have very many fears, honestly. Most of the time I look at things like, yeah, I can deal with that. But it was just embarrassing myself as a fat guy in public for many years.
I'm afraid to fart in public.
Won't do that either.
What is your biggest guilty pleasure?
I love blizzards. I've tried to stop having Dairy Queen blizzards, but I just love them. And I have to find a way to incorporate them into my life.
Moderation is the key.
Yeah, I have a mini instead of a large now. So that's the change.
What is the worst advice that you've ever received?
That people who are successful are somehow special or lucky, and I am neither.
What is the best advice you've ever received?
Oh, I have a lot of those running through my head. Start with the belief that of course you can, and work on how.
That's good. That's good. I'm writing that down right now. All right, Murph, you survived the rapid fire round.
Hell yeah.
So next, I'm going to ask you to pick a member or two of the DDPY community that you think deserves a little bit of recognition, somebody you want to give a shout out to, and why.
So a lot of my favorites you've already interviewed, but I have a real love for the people who are on their like 4th or 5th day one, because I feel like they're almost there. I feel like it's like they're chugging at a chainsaw wire and it just hasn't quite caught yet. I love the comeback story of like Ken Dewars. And Sammy Elba just is starting to come back as well. And they're almost there. They've almost got the every day is day one mentality that will lead them to the same type of success that I enjoyed. I also, just as a personal thing, I want Chase Green to come back. Him winning the 2019 was about the time that I started joining the page. And so he was a big inspiration for me. And he seems to have fallen off a little bit, and I'd love to see him come back.
Yeah, I agree. Come on back, Chase. We love you. We want you here. All right, perfect. All right, Murph, this has been a lot of fun. I was looking forward to this one. You did not disappoint. Hey, great episode.
Thank you.
One more thing that I ask our guests to do to wrap these sumbitches up, and that's just give us a bang.
I apologize in advance for your earphones. Bang!
Perfect. All right. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to do this tomorrow. Peace.